again, I've told this story so many times, but it's a memory that I will always remember, that I had the opportunity to somewhat directly talk to Zen. And it's still a dream of me to one day be able to like casually talk to Zen. But yeah, I don't. I feel like I need to be a way bigger VTuber for me to like be able to be in. How do you say that? I know how to say it in Flemish. Fuck. To be considered not exactly worthy enough, because that makes it sound like it's like this super high privilege thing, or like how would I say this? That I'm basically noticeable enough, I guess, for Zen to be willing to directly talk with me one-on-one. And I, of course, like there's so many people that will want to do that, and everyone else has an equal amount of chance, in my opinion, or deserves an equal chance to like talk with Zen casually, either one-on-one or in group, like playing video games together or something like that. Everyone has, and I firmly believe everyone has and deserves an equal chance like that. So that's why I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I must be the one to talk to Zen. No. Everyone deserves as much, right? So that's why I feel like I need to be more on a, like I need to be more set up as a VTuber, or like settled as a VTuber, for me to then potentially be like in a collab with Zen, for example, right? But that's still a long way off. And even if, right, it's going to be completely up to her whether or not she wants to do a collab. But I am not ever going to be like holding it against her if it's never going to happen. I will still love her all the same, and I will still love all the geckos all the same. But I will continue supporting her regardless. And if it happens, it happens, but it would be very cool. I will probably get my ass handed to me one way or another. But if it happens, it would be a really fun thing, and it is a dream that would be coming true, literally.
Fair enough.
Well, I hope it does come true, Tabi.
We did
And
get
actually-
killer in Fortnite once.
And Star Wars.
Yeah. I do want to add on to that, actually.
But that wasn't
VR,
exactly a collab.
Oh no, it just. Yeah, hopefully at some point you get the chance to do it.
Actually, that
All right,
that
Metro,
VR
do you
chat
have good night rest? All right. Also, Headache Tree, what's up?
was actually the first time I actually ever saw you. Was in that exact same VR chat. Granted, I didn't know you at the time. I think it was until I met Marcus.
I
and
feel
Panzer.
you probably thought of me like, who is this fucking random bitch? And why is she so fucking awkward? Like, why is she so fucking awkward? And then why is she being a crybaby in front of Zen? What the fuck is going on? What is wrong with this bitch? Is what I'm
You want
thinking.
to know my honest opinion of what I actually thought? My honest opinion was, I don't know who this person is, but they're asking Zen this very emotional question, and it actually kind of hit pretty hard for me. So when Aaron went up there and did the group hug, I was like, that's very sweet. I'm gonna join in too.
Like, I'm gonna have a fucking meltdown, and I already have had those. A fucking meltdown if I see Zen just like posting like an emote, for example, like in the chat, just like one emote, and then just fucks off to her own scene or something like that. like, oh my god, like even now I'm already speechless. And again, that's why I'm gonna shut up. It's nothing lewd or something that I had in mind. It's just privacy reasons that I'm not gonna continue what I was going to say. But yeah, I don't see me becoming, again, I've said this like a million times already. I don't see myself becoming like a large VTuber, like Zen, for example. I don't see it happening. And I feel, especially in today's day and age, if you would want to become like a, why do you come? Sorry. Fucking every time I fucking hear that fucking word, it automatically makes me think of that fucking meme. But
If I need your body, I'll
VTubers, or let's say that VTubers,
Yeah.
damn it.
Why do you come?
Anyway, as I was saying, so for example, VTubers who have joined agencies, for example, as in started, on their own journey, and then, had the community of their own, and then suddenly just rise up like with these like regular thousands of viewers and all this merch and all this marketing and all that shit because they join an agency is, in my opinion, and what I feel like is also kind of the truth, not that I have like a lot of experience with it, but just from observing things, that it is a lot more difficult to do so now because it is like there are so many VTubers out there that would like to join an agency, but I don't feel like agencies are just like mass looking for people. And the market is indeed very saturated, and exactly. So, for example, how long has it been now since they have announced that they are going to hire an extra Vshojo member? Remember that was still a thing.
5 months ago?
I've even forgotten about it, that I applied for it.
I think it's still
So that's why I'm thinking that it's really a difficult thing to really pinpoint. Like, what is, how would I say it, reliable, or like a consistent thing that happens of smaller VTubers actually joining agencies. But then, like, you see this huge like spike in viewers just because it's not exactly the VTuber itself, but it's just the agency. And that's the difference. That's the difference of like all these people just like swarming in purely because of a specific agency and not purely because of that person or VTuber specifically. And that's why I have like mixed feelings about like joining an agency. Will it help? Definitely. But I feel like if it takes your identity from you and just basically you become the, why is that word going to be the fucking bait of my existence? You become, stop it, the agency, like more, like you become the agency more than the VTuber,
You almost
Yeah.
become
Because, for
more-
example, there are many VTubers, again, that I've seen that before they joined any agency, they didn't have like the mass popularity that they have now. And then out of nowhere, it just blows up out of nowhere, like exponentially. Like, it's insane just how much discoverability specifically the agency has. And that's why I'm having a little bit of an issue with that. And again, I will not say no if I would join an agency, but if they ask me to completely change my theme, the things that I do on stream, basically change my entire personality, then I'm not gonna do it.
That's reasonable.
This is where you start your own agency, Tabi, and you call it the Cathedral.
I was thinking the same thing, Marcus. Get out of my head.
Tabi makes her own agency and says, yeah, that's how we get around it.
I was thinking the same thing, Marcus. Get out of my head.
Yeah, that's how we get around it. Tabi makes her own agency and says, yeah, that's how we get around it.
I was thinking the same thing, Marcus. Get out of my head.
That's how we get around it. And I know the first problem with that already is money. Because it's not cheap making an agency.
Oh yeah. I'd be willing to put some money down on it. Call it a
She can't, like she
investment.
said beforehand, she can't rely on the money that we give her. Because it's not nearly enough.
As a great man once said,
Why
"Shut
would
up
they
and
hire
take
you
my
just to
money."
tell you to change everything? That happens though, Ninja. And that's
has
why I'm mentioning this. It does happen.
Didn't that happen with a few of the Vshojo members at one point? Because they used to be part of other orgs and certain things had to change because of that?
I don't think so. I think they just left the other organizations because, like, a lot of the other organizations have exclusivity contracts,
Yeah.
and it's their IP. So you're just, as they see it at least, you're just the puppet, or the puppeteer, I should say, behind the puppet. But it's been proven kind of not to be that way because you have your personality and stuff. But that's how the contracts work, and there may be like a non-compete clause as well. No one really knows, so they might have to like wait a while before they reappear. But yeah, it's really kind of weird. Because yeah, that's why you see so many of them kind of come back as either their old characters or different characters, is because like they don't own the IP on what the character made them big.
So yeah, that's why I'm like, yeah, me becoming a large VTuber, I don't see it happening. I really don't. But if it happens, it happens, and I have no choice in that whatsoever. So yeah, see, I don't know how to do anything concerning marketing or whatever. And again, that is something that involves a shitload of money that I don't have. So that's why, like, starting my own agency, for example, is something along those lines. And there are like continuous like new agencies or VTuber agencies being made. That I'm thinking maybe in the future they will reach out to me to become like part of a smaller agency compared to Vshojo or Hololive or whatever the fuck it is. And I don't know if the content that I do is something that people are looking for. Not only for agencies, but also for just people in general like this. How do I say it? Like the content that I enjoy doing the most is literally what we are doing right now, and that is just me talking to you guys in the sense of talking about certain topics at hand and have a direct interaction with all of you. And that is something that I feel like that is not exactly marketable, like Otto says. So that's why I don't think like any agency is gonna be like, yeah, we want this for our agency. No, they're not gonna do that. I'm also not the greatest at video games. And I regularly, as you have seen, I regularly don't really know what to play. And I know that Zen also has those things, but she still plays games. That's the difference. She still gets to the point, like actually doing things. Whereas to me, I sometimes have moments that I literally don't know. Like, I don't feel like doing anything. I don't know what to do. But I want to do something, but I don't know what. But I want to do something, and it's this continuous fucking cycle that really, that fucks me up quite a lot of times. I'm also very like picky on the games that I play because games nowadays suck. They do. So yeah, I can only play the games that I love so many times. But again, like there are so many ideas, for example, for games that I'm still waiting on, that I'm thinking like something that is continuously like that has a lot of replayability, but nowadays games don't have that.
Something I wanted to throw out there was, you ever thought about making like a podcast? Since you like, I mean, you said you like talking a lot and talking to like all of us. You ever thought of like maybe doing like a podcast and making like podcasts?
That's the thing. I also need to have topics to talk about, so that's why I'm like asking you guys most of the time of like, hey, anything that you guys want to talk about, because most of the time I don't know what to talk about. Let's like very sporadically, like now I do have something to talk about, or something is on my mind, or something happened that I can talk about it, or share my experiences, and then go back and forth. But that's what the Tabi XIV is for. It is basically my way of a quote-unquote podcast, but that also allows people to directly interact with, at least at the time that is being recorded or being streamed. And therefore, for people that want to catch up later, that they still can. And that's why I upload them to YouTube, so that people can like still tune in or maybe listen to it in the background whenever they're playing video games and my stream is not live or I'm not doing Tabi XIV, so that they have more or less a podcast like that. But it is not doing well. I am like, those videos are not really doing well, and I don't really see many people like actively looking for it. So that's why I don't have high hopes for that to be quote unquote successful. So to me, I would love to continue doing them, and I will continue doing them, but I don't see it becoming like a mainstream thing for people to continuously listen to. Purely because it is not something that people are looking for nowadays.
I think it just takes time. I think that's like a big thing for growing. Is things just take time.
To be fair, nowadays it doesn't take time. You need a lot of luck nowadays, and just someone giving you a shout out and actively working with you. Nowadays, that's usually how it goes. And exactly, see, as Danger was saying, I think that is also a experience that people have with Tabi XIV, that they don't really want to listen or watch it. And yeah, again, it's exactly, it's one of the reasons why people wouldn't be interested in it. So, it is, sadly enough, it is something that I do enjoy doing, but it's not something that people want to do that. That's not exactly what meant it when you put it like that. It actually makes me feel bad. I'm not gonna lie. But to me, it is a video that people can either watch, like for example, on a second screen while they're gaming, or when I'm not streaming, or when I'm not streaming the content that they want to, but want to specifically listen or catch up, like, hey, Tabi talked about this topic, I want to hear what's happening, and then just listen to that in the background. It is not something that people want to do. And that's why, again, like with the growing thing, nowadays you just need someone that literally boosts things for you. Trying to grow organically with how saturated everything is like actually near impossible. You might as well win the lottery at this point. So, like for example, like someone that I really wish all the success, all the love, all the growth that I wish for, like out of all people that I know, that I want them to be like super successful, that would be Julie. Like fucking Julie has like put so much effort in her things, keeps changing things, changing content, changing games, changing visuals, went from a regular cam streamer to a VTuber, and continuously like fucking upgrading or like updating things, making things more smooth. And like she's been doing it for 7 years. And it's bullshit in my opinion that she hasn't gotten more exposure or discoverability or just people in general or just interaction in general compared to all the efforts, all the years that she spent into it. And I find that absolutely bullshit.
I agree.
Again,
Julian's
to me
following that
personally,
book, though.
everyone deserves an equal opportunity. But after all these years, that just proves that the system of how people can be discovered is absolutely bullshit. And people that say yeah, you need to post this and you need to do that. Like, for example, you need to post on TikTok, post shorts, Instagram, Twitter, this, that, to grow. And to me, it's like, it can help. But again, it is so goddamn saturated right now that, like, for example, I posted a trailer video on my TikTok, and it's still there, by the way. I accidentally logged out and I don't know my password anymore, so I don't know how to delete my thing right now, my TikTok. So it's now there for what, 5 days? And it only has 2 views, and I know who those 2 views are, Byron and Ninja. Those are the only 2. Those are the only 2 people I've seen it in 5 days on TikTok. So don't bullshit me whenever people are saying like, yeah, but TikTok is really good for discoverability. It's garbage. It's a garbage platform, and the audience that is on TikTok anyway, I don't think that they will enjoy my content anyway, because I don't do short-term content. I don't. Then, so yeah, well, does this answer your question about podcast, by the way, Violet?
Yeah, it does. I really appreciate you answering the question.
Yeah, Chug, I would indeed agree. That and also what you said earlier. This picture reminds me of the first time reminds you that you met me in Zen's VR chat thing. Exactly. I guess you were also there when I was crying like a little bitch when Zen basically put her hand on my left shoulder. It wasn't my right shoulder. Hang on, let me see. It was my left shoulder. Yeah. See, I remember things exactly in detail. How could I forget things like that? Zen was in my face, for fuck's sake. It is indeed luck-based, or if you already know someone that is a larger person. That's it. I was crying. Dude, did you not see me? I was crying whenever everyone was like fucking not cuddling, how do you say that? Like getting over closer to me. I was gonna say coming closer, but then again, the word come is going to be something that I will always like pull in like another context. Yeah, see? But that's, again, that's what I think of, like, growing as a VTuber now is, again, like, if you have someone that is already a large streamer of an agency and they shout you out and actively, like, collab with you, then it's stupid easy. But, yeah, that's the thing. And that's why I feel like there has been a post, for example, when Zen, for example, has, of course, for example, comes to no fucking wonder or no surprise there that I'm, again, picking Zen as an example. But Zen has posted, like, has actively tried to make it happen with Vshojo to actually hire someone new. And they have been posts about it that basically what quote unquote Vshojo has become, god damn it, is basically the Zen Friends Only Club or something along those lines. And to me, it is bullshit that people are accusing that, but I can also understand why they're saying it. The reason why they are saying that is because Zen does, like, pick out people that she, like, already knows, but also is actively trying to find new people. But then the moment that Zen finds someone new, for example, then people will already automatically think, like, oh, Zen already knew this person. How do you know? Zen could have known that one random VTuber, for example, for maybe 2 days and just be like, yeah, maybe this one seems chill. And then shit happens from there. Like, it just escalates from there or snowballs down from that point. That, yeah, exactly. Like, Zen is trying to, like, be everywhere, basically. So it's kind of impossible for people to be like, yeah, Zen didn't know about this VTuber. Like, she's doing so fucking much that you have, like, you cannot really say the Zen only club is because Zen is actively looking for people. That's something entirely different. That's why she's doing this, because she is actively, like, asking Vshojo, like, hey, how about, do we have another spot left? And then, like, wanting to help someone rise to the top, so to say. And then whoever gets picked. And even if it's a friend of Zen, who cares? Like, who are we to say what Vshojo should be doing in the first place?
True.
The thing of nepotism, and again, it is possible. And if people or if a company prefers certain connections that their talents already have, then that's their choice. That's their choice to make. And if it is some kind of favoritism, like, as much as it sucks, but again, we cannot really do anything about it. We can only, like, complain about it on Twitter and be like, yeah, nepotism, this and that. And yeah, of course, they can run their business however they see fit. It's their business, not yours. Whether or not you want to support that is, again, completely up to you. But I personally feel that Vshojo is not exactly like the friends only club. So I feel like right now, with the hiring thing of a new Vshojo member, I feel like if it is already a person that Zen has collabed with, like, quite often, for example, let's say fucking Katie Cat, or is Ariel Vshojo? I don't remember.
No, she's not.
Yeah.
Just some examples. So if they would be hired, then I feel like Vshojo is gonna be under a lot of fire. And I feel like that's why they're being very careful right now who to hire. Because, yeah, shit's otherwise going to hit the fan, like, really, really hard. Yeah, exactly. And what you guys are saying. VTubing is indeed a business and not a fucking charity. Like, I know that people are gonna be indeed like very vindictive and be like, yeah, Vshojo or Hololive or Nijisanji or whatever the fuck agencies there are nowadays, they're only out for money and they only hire like friends that are already they're friends with their already existing talents, and they don't give small people a chance. And again, that can happen. Probably already has happened a million times. But again, it's not our choice to make, as much as it sucks. But again, it is not no VTuber agency is a charity.
Yeah, it's true. And I think people tend to forget as well that like they have to kind of gel well with the like existing members if it is like corporation or whatever. So like, and I think that's part of the reason why the whole process takes so long is because like a few VTubers mentioned it before that like when they're looking for new people, like they're going to be doing like offline collabs or whatever and just sitting in VCs just trying to see how well they all kind of can get on. So like it's a big long process. And yeah, as Doku says, it's like applying for a job. Like they're putting a lot on the line to bring people into the company as well.
I never really knew all that stuff, so this is kind of new to me.
Yeah, they don't talk about it very often, but like occasionally you'll hear a few people kind of mention it when they're kind of asked about it. Usually you're just kind of focusing on the content.
Yeah. But even with all that said, I'm still like a firm believer that with like hard work you'll still succeed. And maybe I'm delusional with all that, but I still believe if you put in the effort and you put in a lot of work into it, it all works out. But that's just how I feel.
Yeah, like there's a lot of kind of levers you have to pull and all that, like for even just ordinary streamers to try and get some bit of a platform, and like kind of starting with building community I think is probably the best bet right now, and then trying to get some kind of decent sponsorships, because that'll always kind of boost you up in the algorithms and stuff. But yeah, like it's always going to take a lot of luck now anyway, as Tabi says, because like streaming in general is pretty saturated because it's just so easy to do. But yeah, like you can get to a decent place, but it takes a long time. Like you'd have a lot of people that would get to like 100 or 200 viewers after maybe 4 or 5 years, and kind of just top out there. But if you get a little bit of luck, you can get a lot further. That's the big element. Or even if you can just try and like get to know someone else that's big, it can kind of try and boost you up as well and bring you in and stuff.
I still believe Tabby's gonna be a big streamer. I still full-heartedly believe that, and that's also partially why I try to support the best I can.
Yeah, like honestly, Tabby, you have the like the personality for it, and like you kind of have the work ethic as well, because you're like here streaming every day, so every day you can. So like it's just a matter of kind of getting that kind of strong foundation, then hopefully a bit of luck, or even just trying to get in with the right like group or crowd, or if someone you collab with just tends to, or sorry, not even collab with someone you know gets a bit bigger. Then like as I say, you can kind of boost each other then a little bit. But it's all about kind of climbing the ladder. I think it's a tough industry.
It is quite the thing. It is quite the situation for VTubers in general, especially new ones, especially smaller ones. But yeah, that's let me catch up with the chat here a little bit. So yeah, imagine if those that are quote unquote graduating right now that are going to be part of an agency under a different name. I feel that should not be allowed. I feel like it should be contractually like obligated that people who do graduate are not allowed to be part of another agency if they themselves have basically quit the company or graduated because they feel like I don't want to VTube anymore. But if it's like I don't want to VTube for that company anymore and then be like under a different name for a different thing, then I feel like that's, I don't know, that feels kind of scummy in my opinion. Because that means that then it is just really just nepotism. Just like, okay, you already have, you're already a big name. You already know our talents. You get your ass in here. Like that is something that is a real, I don't know. That's very iffy. I feel like that is an absolute wrong thing to do then. Because then how else is anyone else outside of the large VTuber community ever going to be part of any agency whatsoever? And that's a bit scummy to do. So yeah, that's why I have troubles with that. Then it isn't all about equal opportunity anymore. Absolutely not. And they don't have to, and everyone will have their thoughts about it. But if an already known existing VTuber joins another one, even though they themselves said that they quit, like as in they quit VTubing and then just joined under a different name, that's something different. Like, for example, if someone quits an agency because they don't like that agency but want to continue VTubing and then join a different agency, that's something different. That's okay, in my opinion. But if another person is quitting an agency, publicly claiming to quit VTubing, but then just rejoin another agency under a different name, I don't know, I have issues with that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So let me see here, and exactly exactly what I said also before of Vshojo hiring the new member. If that new member is already someone that is a known large VTuber, then Vshojo is going to be under a lot of fire, and then all those accusations and claims of the Zen Only Club, those are going to be very hard to defend for Vshojo to be like, yeah, that's not true. Yeah, good luck with that. That's gonna be really difficult. So to me, I'm slowly catching up with the chat because I also want to give you guys the opportunity to speak your mind, by the way. That's why I shut up. And give you guys the option to speak your mind as well. Perseverance is also important. It is important, but it is not going to be a means of guaranteeing your quote-unquote success. For example, Julie is a perfect example of that, and I love her to bits, and she's put so much time and energy in it, but it's just a very unfortunate thing, and I find it personally bullshit that she still hasn't in my opinion, I feel like Julie should already be, after 7 years, should already be a very known VTuber with let's say an average of 500-600 viewers per stream, in my opinion. That's what I think personally, and what she does deserve. But that just shows just how bullshit the system is. So yeah, and exactly, a new VTuber. So imagine if a brand new VTuber, like for example, Otto, you are now a brand new VTuber, and tomorrow you will be a VTuber for Vshojo. You will instantly have 100 times to 1,000 times more viewers, follows, subscriptions compared to what I have in total over the year. That's just how powerful, or just how quote unquote bullshit like agencies are compared to just like a little starting indie VTuber.